Smash that limiter!
Yo, welcome to episode 66. How's it going?
Hello, everyone. How are you?
How is it going, Spliffy? How have you been?
Good, thank you. How are you been?
Pretty good, pretty busy, but yeah, not too bad. Can't complain. I'm not dead, so that's all that matters.
Yes, that is
Yeah,
true. At least
that
we're
is
not
true.
dead. That is
That's it.
very true.
Yeah, it's been busy. The crunch time for the wedding stuff is coming quite close. I can't believe it's in 2 fucking weeks, man. Exactly a fortnight. Today I will have already been married and probably have a hangover by now. So
Probably.
that is going to be a pretty exciting time, I think.
Are you looking forward to the wedding hangover?
I'm not looking forward to the hangover, and I'm looking forward to the dancing and the partying.
Of course.
Yeah, Ray and I have sat down and we've got some fucking bangers in there, man. It's gonna be really fun.
All right.
So yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I hope you bring in dance shoes.
I'll be definitely having my boots, which I bought yesterday, which I
Oh, nice.
love.
Oh,
I
that's
bought new
good.
boots, and they're my favorite boots ever.
Yeah, actual boots. So you're gonna bring your boots and your suit shoes at the same time, are you?
Yes.
Oh, nice. I'm just gonna wear, because I was practicing dancing today in my suit shoes. I need to wear them in, so tomorrow I'll probably wear them in.
Yeah.
And yeah, I need to practice dancing with them on. Today it was a bit awkward because they're long as well. So like the correct size, they fit me fine, but you know, they're just.
Are they
so
one of
much
those
longer.
fancy ones that like have that curl toe at the end?
Nah. They're like, they are pointy, but not like they come to a stabbing point. Like, you know, it's like the tips
right.
like that. They are actually rounded like a normal shoe, but they're just long. They kind of look like clown shoes almost. But they're really nice looking and stuff. But I can't dance with them, so that's the main thing. So yeah, Ray and I have worked out exactly how dance is gonna work. And we've been choreographing it for a little bit, so because me and her both need to have structure. Otherwise we're just not gonna dance properly. So we're gonna fuck up. we still fuck up probably.
Yeah,
but
but that's part of the fun.
Yeah, may not as bad if we practice, and
Yes,
a little bit of alcohol encouragement as well on the night.
Yeah.
So I won't be drunk by then, but I'll be
by then. Code word. Keywords by then.
By then the edge will be taken off for sure. But yeah, so
yeah.
So it's really exciting. It's so I've only got how many days of work? So I've got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Tuesday, Wednesday. That's how many days of work I got left until time off for the wedding and the honeymoon. So don't have many working days, so that's pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
it's fucking sick. I need a break.
No, I know exactly what you mean.
Oh, the last few holidays I've been on as well, like same with you. You haven't even had a holiday, have you? You haven't really had a break at all.
No, not this year, definitely.
No.
I don't think I haven't taken a break since the beginning of last year. And I think that's probably going to be the last time I ever do that. I think I'm going to actually have to start doing more regular breaks.
Yeah, definitely.
Because going that long a time is just not fun anymore.
No.
Well, not that it was ever fun, but I just can't tolerate it anymore.
Well, I hadn't taken. See, I've had days off work not because it was anything special. It was just because we had to do things like, you know, go to the city to get suits and wedding dress and go to this for that and this for that. Like, it's never been like I'm just doing it for fun. I mean, yeah, I suppose the Bucks and Ray's Hens night, you could count them as for fun, but it still wasn't relaxing because it was only like a couple days and that was it. Like, it was still a lot of work to do. So, but yeah, no, it's all coming around. I'm keen as for it. It's gonna be great. There was something I was going to say in the world of automotive. So Japan has revealed. I think I spoke about this last time. You know, their new hydrogen engine.
Yes.
So they've revealed its range.
Range. Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
range, yeah. So they've got it in a
Yep.
prototype vehicle. And the range is 1,100 kilometers.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So the way this engine, my understanding of what I've read in the paper, and it's in a paper. It's not it's not a news journal article or anything like that, because let's be honest, a lot of the news journal articles, they don't really care about this shit at all.
Yeah.
But if it's in a paper, like a research paper, because they have been developing this. There's a lot of things that are redacted due to copyright reasons and whatnot, because it is
Yeah.
a new system. So the old hydrogen systems was you fill up the gas tank with hydrogen, and then the hydrogen gets put through a reactor, a hydrogen reactor type process, where it does something and anyway generates electricity, and then that electricity then charges up the battery. Problem was with those is it would go through gas quite quickly, so you would only get a range of like 400 300 kilometers, which isn't really much. So like,
No.
it's not much at all, really.
It's not enough to get people off petrol.
Exactly. And then also there's the cost of producing hydrogen, which is expensive. It's an expensive process.
Yeah, I'm curious to know, what is it cheaper than regular fuel and diesel though?
No, it's more expensive because we're not set up to do it on a large scale. If we did it from the get go and we had the same setup as petroleum, then yeah, we're doing good, Saber. How are you doing? If we had the same setup like years ago, then it wouldn't cost as much, because that's the thing. Like, the initial start of these processes take ages to start up and ramp up, right? So
yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's why it's so expensive. So anyway, so they brought out those hydrogen motors, and they weren't that, because Toyota's never been sold on dedicated EVs. That's why they've actually same with Nissan. They've all stopped. A lot of the Japanese car brands have kind of actually stopped making dedicated electric vehicles. Like, if you go on Nissan's website and you try and buy a Nissan Leaf, it's not there at the moment.
All right.
So they've gone to like the X Trails and stuff like that, and hybrid and stuff. All right, I had some good news. I'm really excited. Oh, that's cool to hear. Anyway, so then Toyota has also invented an ammonia engine, which runs on ammonia. Yeah. So
hello, Saber.
It burns ammonia like a combustion engine, and it runs colder as well, which is interesting. I don't know where they're going with that one. I think they're still developing it. Voice in the air. Fair enough. Yeah, so they developed an ammonia motor. I don't exactly know the inner works of it. I know that it runs really cold and it runs very similar to a combustion engine. But recently they've released a new design hydrogen engine, and to fill it up, you fill up your tank with water.
Okay.
Yeah. So you fill your tank up with water. It kind of sounds like that motor that guy that disappeared. That invented
under mysterious circumstances.
That invented the water motor, the motor that ran on water. I think it's like, yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? So you fill the tank up full of water.
You fill it up full of water.
Yeah, you fill it up full of water, and then it separates the hydrogen and the oxygen molecules. So its exhaust gas is oxygen, which is actually a good thing. And then it uses the hydrogen gas to... So it does two things. So the hydrogen gas is then used to ignite a combustion engine. So it uses a gas and then it pushes down a piston just like a normal combustion engine. But this is the kicker. The process of actually separating the hydrogen and the oxygen molecules. So this is a engine reactor combination, and it uses electrolysis to do it. I don't know how they do it, but they do it that way. And the energy generated from separating the atoms, like the molecules, generates electricity. And so these directly run the electric batteries. And then there's also a hydrogen motor attached to it that uses the fuel from the hydrogen to then also spin a generator that also runs the electric motor. And they don't have a dedicated battery like your standard hybrids. So
Right.
you don't. So it's running, the electric motor is running directly off of this engine hybrid combination, and it has a range of like they reckon 1,100 kilometers, something like that. So it'd be interesting if this actually like comes to reality or not. I'm not too sure, but I'm kind of excited to see how this goes.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see like
Yeah.
hydrogen engines where they separate the oxygen from the hydrogen. I'm curious what the process of that is because that sounds very
Yeah.
scientific and requires a lot of energy.
It kind of reminds me of how Halo explained how the Warthog runs, because the Warthog runs in a similar way to that.
Right.
It uses, it's a hydrogen motor. So, and hey, the Americans' new vehicle is a lookalike of the Warthog.
Yeah, no, I did see that. And yes, giving up a fuel car is going to be really I think that's probably going to be one of the most difficult challenges is actually getting people to buy them. It's going to be the logistics of it because we've got like people with cars that are, anywhere between 1 year and 100 years.
Yeah, I want
an old school collector's vehicle. Yeah, that makes sense.
I will never get rid of my old I won't get rid of my diesel.
Yeah.
No way. I'll get like a petrol vehicle as well. I'll always have both. But yeah, I won't get a hybrid unless it was like a good price. But even then, like
it's gonna be difficult to make it a cheap price.
There's no resale value on them.
I don't know. Well, there's no resale value on an electric vehicle just because
Well,
it's an electric vehicle.
Well, same with the hybrid though, because it still has a battery system on it. Like, and they're really expensive when they deteriorate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how many like first 2-gen Prius are still being driven around? Like,
yeah, that's true.
You don't see them. You don't see that ugly fucking thing anymore. Like, you still see PT Cruisers, which I don't understand. Still see those monstrosities on the road, but yeah, you can't see an old Prius. Like,
I've come across one. Like, there's one Prius I remember. It's been a long time since the last seen there's one Prius on the road, but I do remember this one.
The Priuses are still around, but they just look like a Camry, so you don't really notice them.
Yeah.
Like
55. Yeah, right on.
Those old hybrids are pretty cool, and I would own an old classic car. It's just they're really expensive in Australia. They're expensive to run. They're expensive to get parts for. Yeah, the I don't know what version they're up to on the Prius. Actually, let's have a look.
Yeah, let's have a bit of a look.
Toyota. What?
I got a little bit excited, admittedly, when you said Toyota's coming out. I thought, they're coming out with a Toyota Champ 2, and then that's going to be sold in Australia, because that'd be pretty exciting if I could just get one of those vehicles, Toyota.
Oh, I have to admit, that looks fucking sexy.
Ooh, that does look nice.
That does look nice. Wow, that's a far cry from what it used to look like.
Yeah, I remember what they used to look. I don't know what they look like, and that looks a lot better.
That looks way nicer. That looks
like an actual car.
Yeah, it looks like a sports car, doesn't it? That is actually really nice looking.
Are you a hunter? Are you, Saber?
I mean, you could hang an elk on it. You just tie it to the roof.
Yeah.
It's interesting though how it says HEV. So this must be a hydrogen EV.
Hydrogen EV. Well, okay.
That's usually what they put HEV for.
Let's see how many badges. You think in 100 years' time you'll have like 20 badges on the back of the vehicle, one of them being non-petrol or non-explosive battery or non-explosive combustion, non-combustion on the back of it.
I don't know. I can tell you one thing: if any of these cars any modern day cars catch on fire, they go up like a crazy.
Yeah,
all the
that's
plastics and stuff that they use in them is very volatile. It's actually quite scary how fast a modern car catches on fire.
Yeah,
all those seats, the plastic trim, all that, man, is just so flammable when it goes up. Says it's bloody. I wonder if HEV stands for hybrid electric vehicles. Then that's probably what it stands for.
Yeah,
Sure.
no, that makes the most amount of sense.
Surely.
Actually, all steel. Yeah,
they're not that expensive, eh? But
yeah,
no, I mean, look here,
because that's the two. That's the two
33.
biggest problems that they're going to be facing here. Well, actually, there's probably three big problems. There's the price, and the logistics, and price and logistics really. Is it going to be too expensive for the average person to buy?
I can tell you one thing as well. With the increased price of electricity bills, it's more expensive to run an EV than a petrol or diesel. 100% now. Like Australia's a 1969 Jeep Star Commando truck with a CJ5 front end.
Nice.
The fuck is that? I've never seen what that is. Let's have a look.
It sounds fun.
Australia's electricity is going up by a lot. It's like going up to 15 cents a kilowatt or something like that. It's ridiculous.
Far out.
Yeah, it's going to be expensive.
And the other part of it is, political because we have the carbon tax, which is placed on.
It's one of these old things. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, right. One of those.
Yeah, I don't get too many of them in Australia. I think I've seen 3. They look cool. That's really cool. What brand is it? Is it made by Corporation AMC?
It looks like Jeep. It looks like a Jeep if you look at the front end of it.
But
I would imagine to be a Jeep.
Yeah,
Kaiser.
It's like the precursor to Jeep. It's not.
Oh, made in Ohio.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not Jeep
Kaiser made in Ohio. Jeep Kaiser made in Ohio. That'd be fun.
So that looks fucking sick. Anyway, that's cool. So I'll show you what the new the Americans new what do they call it?
Don't know.
It's a Colorado.
Like a Holden?
Army Colorado combat vehicle.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe that, Sable.
It looks like
by many companies.
Yeah,
latest one.
There it is. Fuck yeah, this
latest one is
yeah, this thing's sick, man. Looks like a Halo Warthog.
Oh.
I love it.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So apparently that costs 100. So I was watching it on Unsubscribed podcast where they had again.
Oh yeah, I think that's where I've seen it.
They had some top dogs from the army there in the podcast. I don't know how they do it, but anyway.
Yeah, right.
And they're talking about this. So this is to replace the Humvee.
Oh,
and they were saying now this is from the public relationships officer of the US Army and their technical guy that's a really smart. He's a doctor, like a PhD doctor, but he's also ex military as well. So he was there in combat in Iraq, I think. Anyway, he was saying so this costs $150,000 when it's all armored up and everything like that. So obviously this isn't armored up because it's empty.
But hey guys, look at my armor. Get shot immediately.
What this is a Chevrolet Colorado chassis and motor.
Yep.
And then they just chuck these bodies on it. That's all it is. And apparently they're really light. And when the hurricanes, so they gave them to one of the brigades in the US Army, and down below when the hurricane happened, and the Humvees couldn't get in where they couldn't get in, so they were like, well, we have these prototypes, let's fucking use real world scenarios and use these.
Let's just try it.
Yeah, try them out. And they could go, there was nowhere they couldn't go. They went everywhere that the soldiers took them, and the soldiers were like telling them stories of like what they want to do. One of them turned around and says, you know what these would really be good in Modern Warfare? And they're like, what? And they're like, we can remote control these, because they have they've got variants of remote control capability. We can remote control these and strap C4 to them. And like, please don't do that. Please don't do that here. And like, no. But like, when we're at war, you know, like we could use this as remote fucking bombers. Like, and it's like, yeah, we could. I mean, it's still cheaper than a fucking missile. Like, it's not a bad idea.
Out.
But yeah,
it's fucking ludicrous, the price tags on some of these things, man.
Yeah, so it's quite interesting. But the Humvee was 350,000 each, and the reason why they continued on for so long was because some politicians were, you know, making a little bit of money, and the new guy in charge of the U.S. Army basically turned around and said no more, and people like got their knickers in a twist about it, and he just said, no, this is happening. Too late, bad, too bad, too sad. We're getting these. And so these and another vehicle they've got as well, which is cool. Because obviously Australians, we've phased out our Land Rovers with the Bushmasters. Which they're Australian built, which is pretty cool. I like the Bushmasters. They're actually really sick. So obviously Americans ramping up their inventory at the moment, since it's starting to look like World War III is very much upon us.
I'm really not excited for it.
No, I'm not either. That was kind of scary what we were talking about last night with Yemen, and we're like I was telling you about it, and then we're on Google Images, and we were seeing what the Americans did to Yemen.
Yeah.
Didn't you hear, Saber? Yeah. Yeah, I was also telling you with Trump was deciding whether we're going to get involved with what's going on between Iran and Thingo. He decided to get involved, so it looks like we're going to start seeing a massive influx of new cool vehicles coming out because of this potential of going to war. Potential. It hasn't happened yet, but it's possible. So, but I'm just excited for the technology, because what happens in military war ends up coming into a civilian market later down the line anyway. So it'd be kind of cool to see how it all sort of goes in terms of the tech. The war part's not good at all, but the tech is kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, them into parking lot. I don't know about parking lots. I'd describe it as like a second moon.
Yeah. So what happened with Yemen? Fuck, I always pronounce the name wrong. Yemen. So what was happening was when we were the Americans and us were going through that batch of ocean to give humanitarian aid to the peoples involved in these wars going on in that area. And the Americans,
how ironic is that?
I know. And then it's funny. It's funny how we're sending the money to the military to bomb each other, and then we're feeding their people to save them. So we're like,
and not only that, but giving humanitarian in the process of giving humanitarian aid during a war, you end up creating another war.
Yeah, I know. But I actually know this is kind of this isn't the Americans' fault. They're just responding to someone touching their boats.
Yeah.
So what happened was the Americans had a vessel that was a military vessel, and it had humanitarian aid, and it was coming through, and Yemen has these extremist people that basically run the country, decided to attack it. And some of our vessels were in the proximity, and some of our planes are in the proximity as well. And they attacked that humanitarian American Navy vessel, And this happened 4-5 weeks ago now. When they did that, they then retaliated by bombing them for like 4 weeks straight. So when you look on Google Images now and you look at Yemen, you look at all the towns, there's not much towns left. There's just all rumble. So yeah, don't touch the boats.
How many? Okay, I'm curious. How many?
Fucking, there were so many towns that we were looking and they were just like non-existent anymore. It's fucking crazy.
How many conflicts are on right now?
I reckon there's about 8 or 9.
Really? I thought there would have been like 5 at the most.
No, because there's heaps. There's heaps that we
there
don't
are
even
over
know
110.
about. Oh fuck!
I'm curious about. I'm talking
Oh,
like
fuck,
Google.
that's
I'm
bad.
talking like Russia versus Ukraine levels, not hey, give me your fucking wallet.
Well, okay.
conflict.
So there's heaps of conflicts. So there's Ukraine, Russia. That's the biggie. We've now got Israel, Iran, and then we've also got Israel against Egypt. There's 3 other countries around Israel that they're attacking as well.
Right.
Then you've also got China and India. They're always at confrontations on the border. I mean, they're beating each other with sticks like daily at the moment. I'm not joking. They on the border between India and China, there's an agreement that there's no explosive devices. That includes guns, bombs, mortars, artillery, the whole works. So they're only allowed to use medieval tactics. So they use clubs, axes. No, they don't. No, yeah, clubs, axes, swords, knives, sticks. They just beat the fuck out of each other with a mace. And they do that on a daily basis at the moment. The conflicts between them is pretty high. You've also got China and Taiwan. There's also a bit of conflict in terms of like economic war globally between everybody. I mean, between us and the Americans. I mean, yeah, we're allies, but we're having a little bit of a economic fight, as it were. Same with it's just there's fighting everywhere, whether it's like to do with money or it's to do with actual war. Like everyone is so pissed off. It's like what the fuck? And it all started because fucking everyone's just desperate because it's just everything's just gone to shit after COVID.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like
That was literally the catalyst. Everything is COVID.
Yeah. Or no, actually, here's a question: was it the catalyst or was it the kettle bomb? Or was it the kettle bomb? That doesn't make any sense. Powder keg. That's the word.
I don't know. I reckon the mass global economic struggle caused a lot of issues that were already there to just really get excelled forward. I reckon.
Right.
I reckon that's how I reckon, in my opinion. I'm not an expert, but that's how I reckon it's sort of come about. This because it added so much economic and social strain on everybody's lives, and it's just everything's just been bubbling for quite a while, and that I just think it's just people just starting to get desperate for lots of things, and politicians. I don't understand what half this fighting is just bullshit. I understand why the Israels retaliated originally because they were attacked. I get it, but I don't get the other stuff that's followed on. It's like they're using that as an excuse to do other things. Russia and Ukraine, I knew that was going to happen from the get-go, just because Putin was going down I reminisce of my USSR days. America, I think America's problem is at the moment is they just realize they're starting to not be the world powerhouses they once claimed to be.
Yeah, they're losing that powerhouse.
Yeah, so they're like, we're the top dog, and now there's like China on the horizon, and they're like, I see people all the time, especially Americans, being saying, oh, China's not a threat, and it's like, but they are, because they single-handedly control the world's economics. Like, it's not necessarily like they're a threat in terms of warfare, but they're definitely a threat in terms of money. And let's be honest, that's where it hurts everybody, is money.
Yeah, because they have such a huge
because these guys do. Yeah, it's a lot of fighting going on everywhere.
Yes,
Even in
I
our
don't know.
country.
Like, I don't know exactly what. Yeah, that's true. I don't know what's going on or what the resolution's gonna be, but
I don't
I'll
know
be
either.
excited when it's finally friggin' over and I can just go to work, do my job, come home, and pay my bills. I'll
Well,
be excited when I can just do
yeah,
that.
that's what we all hope for at the end of the day is like, okay, yeah, if shit hits the fan, as long as like we stay relatively unaffected and just hope that as little lives are taken as possible in terms of the civilian side and that it's all more
Yeah.
like military side. But it would never happen like that, ever. So you just, yeah. The No Kings protest in UK. No, I didn't.
No, I heard about the No Kings protest in America, if I'm understanding that correctly.
They were
Um,
protesting to No Kings, but not towards Trump. Not their No Kings, but towards Trump, not their own king. The thing is, like, don't get me wrong. I tend to turn off to world politics because at the end of the day, like half the time people will get up in an uproar, and then in a few years' time, it kind of all settles down and everything, nothing really happens. This happened
yeah.
last time as well. Everyone was going crazy. Everyone's going blah blah blah. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't agree with like 90% of the things he says, but there's no point jumping up and down and protesting in another country about what is it going to do?
Yeah, because
Like
like it has absolutely
you
no jurisdiction.
yeah, you have no control. You're not a voting American citizen. Like,
I mean,
uh,
because
uh,
like the other.
it's
Oh, I'm sorry. What I was gonna say was because if anything changes, it doesn't directly affect you at all.
no, no, it doesn't. None of it affects us really. Even the tariffs didn't affect us. Like, Australians are carrying on, oh, the tariffs, and it's like, but you don't pay the tariffs. The Americans pay the tariffs. That's how it works. I'm like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah. Well, the China
Yeah.
tariffs that we have, or the Russian tariffs that we have. So, for example, like when Russia invaded Ukraine, they then put tariffs on Russia's products, right? So if
Yeah.
I wanted to buy a Virpil HOTUS, which I really did want originally, um, it would cost me 250 Australian dollars to buy it, right? But then as soon as it comes to the border, I will then get slugged $1,500
Right.
because that's the tariff. That's how it works.
And I'm just looking it up now.
Yeah.
The term tariff and um the term tariff and duty, which is just a tax, are used pretty interchangeably. So we kind of already have like a 10% tariff on everything that comes into the country.
Yeah, we do. Otherwise, yeah. That's why everything costs so much, like electronics and stuff like that. That magical electronic fucking tax that's there. Like,
Yeah.
it's cheaper to buy. It was cheap. So, Ray's headset is a SteelSeries Arctic Nova Pro wireless, and I got it for her. And it was $200 cheaper for me to buy from Germany and import it into the country than it was to me to walk into a store and buy one.
Yeah.
Go
'Cause
figure.
they'll all have their own import costs
Yeah.
associated with it, and then they're gonna want their cut, and their cut's probably associated with the stamp duty on top of it. So you're
Yep.
probably dealing with like a double dipping in tax,
Yep.
in increased profit. It's like, oh my god, it's why can't we just build this shit here?
Yeah,
It'd
but
be so.
that's the one silver lining I hope happens. If war does happen, and I hope it doesn't, but if it does happen, I hope we can start manufacturing in house because we're gonna have to, because otherwise,
Yeah, we can't rely on the
we
on the
can't.
rest of the world.
Yeah, and all our trade agreements will go out the window too, which would be great. Because
Yeah.
to be honest, we need to get rid of them. Especially like I know New Zealand's our brethren, but seriously, they've kind of fucked us with their trade agreement. But yeah, no, we need to be self-sufficient. I mean, we're struggling as it is. I mean, there's the egg shortage that we're struggling with. There's now tomato shortage. Where the fuck did that come from? Yeah, did you hear about that?
Where did that come from?
Where did that come from? Yeah. Like, now there's a tomato shortage because a couple of farms in Queensland have been done in by the weather, and it's like the biggest fucking tomato farm is in South Australia, and somehow we're getting hard done by two farms in Queensland that produce fucking a fraction of the amount of our farms do. Like, what the fuck? Fuck off, mate. Like, oh my god. See, shit
And
like
say
that.
there's nothing more permanent than a temporary government solution.
Oh, shits me to tears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, did you hear? Did you hear that? Some vegans got their their shit like they got really upset when they found out that the famous Australian hats, like the wide brim hats, do I have one somewhere?
Are they called boonies?
The Colibrin's hats.
I don't know. Is it the one with? It's the one with the where it's flipped up on the side. Is it?
No, that's the old slouch hat. That's the military one. Australian hat. Oh, what's it called?
A Cobra?
A Cobra, that's it. So, you know how they're made out of rabbit felt?
No, I didn't know.
A lot of them are made out of rabbit felt. And a bunch of Nancy's found out about that. Like a bunch of fucking idiots.
What did they think it was made out of the synthesized material?
It literally says fur and leather. And some say felt, which is usually rabbit skin. And they just got
they can't fucking read.
They got so upset over it. And it's like, this hat brand's been around for like
a really long time.
Yeah.
And what's the word?
So this is the Australian brand.
How are you a member of PETA and be blocked by them on Facebook at the same time?
That's kind of funny.
What game are you playing at?
But yeah, this is the Australian. I've got one of these that I got at one of the shows years ago.
Yeah,
I still got it. It doesn't fit me because it was designed for 13-year-old me. But anyway.
Oh.
It's still a really good hat. Like, I really like it. And like, because I went to a farm school, so all the kids had one. I would own another one, but they're fucking expensive, like $320 for bloody hats. Ridiculous.
Is the meat eater Peter?
But yeah, they're really good hats.
Yeah, I believe you.
It's like, do you own a swag?
No, I don't.
Have you ever been in a swag?
No, I have not.
Do you know? Hey Saber, do you know what a swag is? I'm curious. And no, it's not that stupid fucking YOLO era bloody. He's got swagger to him.
Oh, I completely forgot about that word.
Okay, a swag is a rollout tent. So in Australia, we sleep a lot of Australian guys sleep in swags, and girls. But instead of tents, we usually use swags. It's like a canvas rollout sort of tent thing. They are waterproof and everything, but and they're really good in cold weather too. Nah, it's nothing like a lean-to. I'll show you what it looks like. A lot of Americans don't know what a swag is.
It's kind of like a miniature tent. It's kind of like if a tent and a what the fuck is the
these ones are your luxury swags. These are the ones
luxury swag. What the hell is those are two words that can go together.
These ones have poles.
These ones have poles. That's just a tent.
These have poles in them, but yeah, the swag is like that. But an old school swag, like just a standard one, doesn't have poles. It just rolls out and you just sleep in it.
Yeah.
So it'd be like a polar swag.
Call those a single tent.
Yeah, it's like that. But generally, when people sleep in them, they don't set them up like that. They just roll it out and sleep in it. They don't like tie it up or anything like that. They just roll it out. But that's a swag.
She'll be right.
There you go. Yeah, it's like that. Yeah. They're actually really comfortable too. The mattresses, they come with mattresses inbuilt in them too. Usually, they're quite comfortable. But yeah, I have a luxury pole swag, a 2-pole swag, and Ray's got a 3-pole swag. Meaning head, middle, end. Mine's just a head and an end. But yeah, no, they're pretty good. And it's a double too, so 2 people can sleep in them if they want. But it's more ideal just by yourself, to be honest. But yeah, no, because the good thing about swags is at night, because they're canvas, they hold the warmth in, and so you can stay quite warm in really cold nights. Because believe it or not, Australia gets really cold at night.
It does.
Not like snow cold, like it can snow depending where you are, but yeah, it's a dry cold.
It's a painful cold if it gets cold enough.
Yeah, you do get ice and that on your windows.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but yeah, we just roll them up. They take up a lot of room though. But yeah, you just roll them up.
Oh, that's right. You talking
Fahrenheit
units.
Yeah,
I was about to say 103 degrees. So like that's enough to kill you.
that is.
I
Yeah,
live in the mountain desert, so I get both sides. You get both sides
but
of the
yes.
same Fahrenheit coin.
I've noticed since we've had the storm in South Australia, Spliffy, there hasn't been as many shark attacks.
That's a little concerning. Have you ever heard of this movie called
What?
Sharknado and Sharknado? That's concerning.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah, I reckon.
Um.
I reckon the algal bloom's been dealt with, so it's stopped making the sharks go a little bit fucking nuts.
All right.
Because yeah, they were like really coming into shores and attacking people. Like it was happening quite often. A lot more often than it normally is. I mean, we got 3 shark attacks in like a month, which is never really heard of.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's so many dead sharks. That's ridiculous. I would love to know how many. I'd love to know how much of the fish population has been completely plummeted because of that algal bloom. So, but yeah, it's fucking nuts.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. It gets to what's the hottest temperature it's gotten to where you live?
Probably right now.
Yeah.
Oh, like in like right now or fuck, what was I going on with that? I have the hottest I've ever experienced or the hottest right now?
Hottest both.
Okay, so the hottest I've ever experienced would have been 41, 42 degrees Celsius. Maybe.
Yeah.
And the coldest I've ever experienced was about -4. Actually, probably been less than that. It's been in the negatives a lot. It's been cold enough to freeze my handbrake.
I reckon if it's 42 standard there, what are you, Texan?
It is normally here. Oh, and
the hottest
just
I've been
continue being fucking hot then.
The hottest I've been is like 53 or 52 degrees.
Fuck, what does that feel like?
That is the bottom of your soles are melting on the ground.
Right.
And the coldest I've been is probably -12, I think. I reckon, yeah, -12, which is which makes sense because it was in the snowy mountains and was skiing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it was snowing and it was -12, I think it was, which wasn't that cold, but it was quite nice. I actually really enjoyed being in the ski fields. It's surprising how hot it gets up there during the day.
Well, I guess if you got like sun glare, it'll just bounce.
Yeah,
straight off the
yeah,
snow
it does.
straight
It
into your
bounces
face.
straight up your snow. I got all sunburnt. I had the goggle.
5.55 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets hot fucking everywhere these days.
Yeah.
Ugh. But no, I used to hate working in warehouses and stuff like that because like it'd be 42, 43, 45 and it'd be like 60, 70 in the shed. it'd be so hot you have to come out for breaks because you're dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was this one really bad heat wave when I was working at the hardware company, and it was
Yeah.
when I first started working there, and it was hot. And the problem was with that warehouse was all the office air conditioning units, the outdoor units were in the warehouse.
Oh,
So it would
Christ.
just blow hot air straight into the warehouse. And the warehouse was concrete walls with a tin roof. So it was a fucking oven. And so we had the hot air coming from it. Was like it felt like being in a fan forced fucking oven. And so like all the hot air will come out and there's be 6 of them at the top or 4. No, yeah, there was like 6, I think. 6 on top of the units that they made, and they're just blowing hot air down the aisles of the shelving units and stuff like that. And then, then you got the heat of the sun. And then, of course, once those concrete walls heat up, they don't cool down. And it just was, it was bad. We could only like work in the warehouse for probably 30 minutes at a time. We would have to go inside the air conditioning. It was just so hot. It was ridiculous that day. It was around Christmas too. So luckily we were dead. So we spent most of the time just in the air conditioning, but fuck me. Like you'll be like shit, you're not. Your sweat will be evaporated before it leaves your skin. Like it was that fucking hot.
Oh,
So
fuck.
uncomfortable. Hated it. You like pick up like all the metal railing and stuff, and it was warm and hot.
Oh.
And it's like this is inside.
Fuck.
The sun's not even touching it, and it's already like that hot. That's uncomfortable to hold on to. Like that's ridiculous. Anyway, I hated it.
Yeah. Ugh. When you breathe it in, breathe in
Yeah.
hot air, it's like your lungs evaporate, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah, I don't like wearing the full bloody camo gear and stuff like that. It's not really good. Where are you? Where did you say you're from? I've forgotten.
Colorado.
Colorado. Ah, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Colorado gets hot and cold. It snows there. Had a there was a guy that was best friends of my dad's closest friend, and he was Colorado, and he'll come out here during the winter months of America to avoid the cold. He used to tell us some really funny stories about black bears getting on his bloody. He said that the one time, like, he comes out the front and there was a black bear on his porch. And he just looked at it and he just said, "Will you get the fuck out of here?" And the bear just ran away. He knew that if he didn't leave now, he was going to get shot. Yeah. Well, the only reason I asked is because you were saying how hot it gets. And usually when we think about heat, we think about Texas. And then if it's humid, we think about Florida. But then again, you can articulate sentences, so you're definitely not from Florida. They're not good at speaking. I love paying out. I love stereotypes, man. We have so many in Australia. We got Victorians that we have a lot of stereotypes for, like paying them out. We got Tasmanians. We always say that they're always inbred. And then what do we have? What do we have for New South Wales, Queensland, and Western Australia?
New South Wales is the upstuck state. Queensland is the upstuck state, and Western Australia is just a state with nothing in it.
Yeah, see, Northern Territory is easy. They just don't work and drink all the time.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what you would say Western Australia. It used to be a long time ago. Thanks for the follow. Used to be a long time ago. Because they were miners, and then it was like crackhead central for quite a while there, but every other state's kind of surprised. Every other state's kind of joined them on that front. So yeah, we do. We use Discord, but I haven't set up a Discord page for this yet. Well, I've had it. I made it like months ago.
Actually, you made it years ago.
Okay, I made it years ago.
You made it years ago. I thought it was finished. I thought you'd finished
I gave up. Nah, I gave up. Oh, I gave up on it. The reason why I gave up on it Yeah, well,
Oh,
because no one was helping me. Like I was doing it all by myself, and I'm just like, I
I had no
I
idea how to
I,
help you.
I bit way too much more than I could chew on it. I should probably set it up so then that way we could grow a community out of it. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. We should really just like focus on having like a general chat and like someone that can people can upload pictures of their cannons. Are you talking like a Napoleonic era cannon? Are you talking about a German 88 cannon or both somehow in some sort of fucked up hybrid? Black powder. Oh, okay. So a
Yeah,
Napoleonic cannon.
yeah. I've seen a cannon explode. It's good fun. No one died, but it was quite scary. It
Yeah, I bet.
it shook everything. Yeah. Yeah, I can't show, I can't say when or where or who or why or anything like that, but I can say that I saw a cannon blow up. I did have footage on my phone, but it is long gone and deleted on the very day that it happened
Oh.
because I mean, it was all safe. Like, don't get me wrong. It was not like it was someone did something bad. It wasn't that. It the safety procedures that we do when we shoot the cannons made it safe. Like no one got hurt, and no one,
Yeah.
it could have been bad, but no one did get hurt because we have safety protocols. But the problem is in Australia, as soon as someone gets wind of something like that, then they all jump on the bandwagon. Next minute, everyone's banning cannons.
Yeah.
It's like you're not going to rob a store with a cannon because it's impractical. Like, it really is.
You walk in there with this big fucking cannon on wheels. It doesn't fucking steer very well. Like, arr, give us your booty. Hold on, let me steer. Sorry, my throat is fucked from last night.
That's cool.
Turns out singing, what is it? Corey Taylor is really hard on your vocals.
It would be. One of the members Saber as well of the club has a black powder mortar from, it's a Civil War cannon, Civil War matter. So it's actually from America.
Yeah.
It was a Confederate mortar, and he still has the original mold as well for it too. So he's still got the original lead molds, and it was designed for the rounds to be hollow, so you can put a timed fuse in it. So when it will get to its certain destination, it will explode, and basically you had fucking grenades basically coming out of a mortar.
Fucking hell. I'll have a look in a minute, Saber.
We used to fire. We used to use that as well. That's cool. South Australia is cool. South Australia and Victoria, I think, are the only two states that can have cannons. I'm pretty sure. I don't think New South Wales can.
Imagine having whoa, oh, yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
You've been stalked, Spliffy.
Apparently, I
is that on Discord? Is that?
Yeah, you found. Sorry.
Yeah, that is.
I've been wanting to change my profile picture on Discord for a couple of years now. I just haven't gotten around to it. Yeah, it's a party that I went to how long ago? I went to yeah. Oh, what's it? I went to a party years ago. When I was like 2021, and someone brought up someone brought a blow up doll in the shape of a horse of a particular type. A particular type of.
You could just say it outright. It was a sex doll.
Okay, can I?
It was just a sex
it was
doll,
a blow up sex doll shaped like a fucking horse.
Yeah.
and then I just got so drunk that night that I had duct tape strapped. Like I had duct tape strapped around me, and then I duct taped this blow up sex doll to my body with duct tape, and I was Extremely. It was probably the most drunk I'd ever gotten in my entire fucking life. That is a cannon. Oh fuck.
Is it the one that's on the Can you share it with me, Spliffy?
Yes, I can.
I wonder if it's the one that I'm thinking of, because if it's the one I'm thinking of, it's probably the one that that I saw blew up. It was really sad actually, because that cannon was made. So it was a brass made cannon, and so it had like obviously a proper. It was made, so it's like it was that big roughly, and it had its own like handmade horse-drawn carriage type scale set up, and it shot a projectile like that. So it wasn't like a full size cannon; it was to scale cannon. But still, when it fucking blew up, it just What happened was the reason why it was bad powder. It was someone had provided incorrect black powder that was mixed with modern powder, and that's what's happened. Is the modern powder pressures blew it up. Yeah, so it was kind of sad, really, because it was a really nice cannon. Yeah, so that cannon there is about the cannon that blew up is about a quarter the size of that, but it's the same type of cannon that that blew up, that we saw blow up. Yeah, so it'd be like it'd be just a quarter of that size, so it's not nowhere near that scale, but yeah, still scary.
Yeah.
Had enough force to fucking shake everything. People came running down. We're like, what the fuck happened? And we're like,
I can imagine the sound would have been fucking amazing.
Oh,
it would have been fucking loud.
It was.
Say.
The closest I've been to an explosion like that was when the F-111 aardvarks flew over and did a fuel dump explosion at an air show.
Right.
So that shockwave, that just boom, and like really high pitch. It was that is probably the closest thing I've been around. Mind you, though, that explosion knocked me on my ass, the F-111 one.
Yeah.
But no one, because what happened was when it fired, it blew out the back of it. So the back and the brass, the carriage, like fucking, because the carriage was designed as the big wheel and the back, and it blew out the back of it, and then because it was made out of brass as well, so it was brass with a hydraulic tensile like insert, but it wasn't designed to deal with modern powder pressures. It's designed to deal with black powder, which is not high pressure, and so it blew out the back of it and just spun around on the range, and like it was 20-30 meters in front of us all. So it shot like pits of wood and stuff, but it was that far back. By the time it got to us, it was not going that fast in velocity, so it was fine. No one got touched by any of it, which again is crazy. But anyway, but yeah, it was from then on we made a rule that all powder has to be inspected. Normally we did that with just normal black powder firearms, but never really had to with the cannons, but that kind of changed after that.
I got that photo, Saber. You mind if I show it to Hunter?
Yeah, I've shot a few 338 Lapuras. They're a nice hot round.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't like about them though is their bullet drop is pretty bad. Like if you're doing long distance shooting,
isn't that more the bullet than the weapon?
Yeah, but it's the grain of projectile that they use on it though. I mean, you could do your own reloads, and I found it was better to do my I found it's the people I spoke to that have it found that it's better to do their own reloads with it, but it's But yeah, they ended up favoring the smaller calibers like 270, 270. What was the other one? Not 308s. Anything in the 30 caliber, 308, 338. They
30
only
6.
Nah, no one really uses them in Australia. They're not that common. Like those rounds that people just like they use, but not that common. 7mm people use. I have a 6.5mm Swiss, which is the precursor to Creedmoor. They're really good. They have a really straight trajectory as well. But yeah, a lot of the hunters don't like the 308s or the 338 Lepuras because the bullet drop is pretty crazy when they're doing their long distance on like animals and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, like they're long distance firearms and they can shoot quite far out, but I don't know. It's just when it comes to hunting, and that's what everyone only uses it here for more than anything.
Mm.
They don't really. They use
Well,
it
I
for
mean,
sport.
you're not going to use it for anything else.
Yeah, well, they use it for sport, but they're the only ones that tend to like them. The ones that use for hunting, they don't use them. They use 2250, 6.5mm Creedmoor, 270s, 22 Swift, which is like a high powered 22 caliber. Because a lot of hunters here will get within 100 meters, well, 100 to 200 meters from what they're hunting to put them out. They don't really do long distance shots that often. The only guys that really do long distance, I reckon, are the professional hunters that do like the goat hunting or the helicopter shooting. They go up in the helicopters with their AR-15s or their
yards too.
Yeah. Well, like I said, they are a long distance rifle, but they're just not good at hunting.
731.
Yeah.
Turns out yards and meters aren't that massively different.
They are a little bit different, yeah. Not by much.
I mean, a little bit different, but like not.
Yeah, it's not
the
much,
difference between a mile and a kilometer.
Yeah, they make a mess.
But,
yeah, I don't know. It's just it. I guess the difference between here and America is that you guys, your animals are a lot bigger, so you kind of need that force. I mean, we do have camels. We do have sambar, which is the world's largest deer. They're all invasive species, but generally speaking, you can't really go the distances because it's usually because it's on someone else's property or something like that. There's usually some sort of factor, but people just like to get close. I guess it's probably because they're lazy.
The thrill of it?
Nah, I think it's because they're lazy. They don't want to run across paddocks to get to it.
Oh, I see.
I reckon that's what it is more than anything, but yeah. But, yeah, fucking would punch a hole through steel, like 1/4-inch steel. It's good, strong shit, but it's a military round. Well, I don't think it was designed originally for military, but it's really, really prominent in military. But yeah, because my 6.5mm Swiss will punch through 1/4-inch steel at 100, 200, maybe up to 400. I reckon it would.
My 1/4-inch steel can go through 1/4-inch steel if I throw it hard enough.
Yeah. Put it on one of those big fucking mass accelerators. Oh, that is scary. Rail guns, man.
Oh yeah, that'd be interesting. Fuck. Hang on. Is it illegal to own a railgun?
No, I don't think yet. I don't think anyone's made one. I don't think anyone's made one in Australia yet. It's technically a firearm though.
I know, that's what I'm thinking in Australia.
There's probably no wording for it, but it would still be regarded as a firearm because it launches a projectile.
Yes. Oh, it is illegal. I thought it was for some reason my brain just were like, yes, it is legal to own a railgun in Australia. No, it's illegal. It's definitely illegal.
It is illegal. Damn it! They caught up.
Yeah.
I was thinking about making one like a while ago. like
What about
few years ago.
Yep. I was just going to say, what about neodymium rounds? Because they would go fucking crazy.
No, because they're not hard.
No. I mean, like, just speed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you send it through an electromagnetic field, fucking oath.
Yeah.
But generally, like, a lot of the railguns people make in their backyard, they just use, like, a steel disc. They usually use, like, you know those Nerf guns they brought out? They look like a little tiny miniature Frisbee?
Yes.
They were like that, and the people I've seen make rail guns use that because it was easier to make. It was easier to fling that flat object through the rails. Then you got coil guns too. Coil guns are exactly the same as a rail gun.
That has to be one of the most American things I've ever fucking seen in my life.
What, 20mm anti-material rifle?
I'll show you.
Oh, yeah, you sent me shit. No. That 338 Lipua, that looks like a very light rifle. That is like half the size of the ones you get here. The ones you get here, no wonder why people don't like them, because that is actually... Yeah, I see why you would use that as a hunting rifle, because that is very light. The ones here, they're way bigger. You can't lug them around. They're huge. They got so much mass to them.
Yeah.
That is very American. But yeah. Yeah, with that muzzle brake on there, it definitely would help a lot. I think that's the only round I've never actually shot as a 30-06, I reckon. Yeah. I reckon 30-06 is the only caliber I've never used. What was the Springfield?
303?
No. I've shot a Springfield. Is that a 30-06? No, it is. Okay, I'll take that back. I have.
Oh.
I have shot 30-06.
Apparently, we'll be right back. Hang on, guys. We will be right back. Apparently, Hunter has to figure out what weapon, what bullet the Springfield fires.
That is the problem when I press 2. That's funny as. Yes. Okay. So I stand corrected. I've shot a Springfield. That was a 30-06. Which I will be the first to say this, that the Springfield rifle was the shittest service rifle ever made. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
You don't have to like it. You just have to shoot it.
No wonder why people preferred the M1 Grand. I hated it. It's crap. The Italian one's actually pretty good, which surprised me.
The Italian Springfield.
No. The Italian. What was the Italian? No, it was the Italians made a bolt action rifle. It was really weird because it started off really good, and then if you got the later variants where they kind of started, I think it was after they switched sides. I think they ran out of materials, so then they started making them pretty poor quality. Those ones aren't good, but the original ones where they were like milled and everything, they were really good quality. No, my favorite rifle's the Japanese Arasaka.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
My favorite rifle is probably the Carabiner 98K Mark II.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I really like the open sights. The way that they made the sights is really open. Yeah. You can actually see everything. It's really nice.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, they are nice. I've never I don't know, man. If I went overseas and I was able to shoot some of the guns I wish I could shoot, I would have a field day. I would. That's if I went to America, I would definitely go over and visit Kelt and all those people that I know that have lots of guns.
Yeah,
I'd just love to just do it. It's funny because like I wouldn't want to touch like any of the ones that we can get here that I've used here. Like for example, a 50 BMG round. Actually, no, I'll shoot a Barrett. Sorry. I'd love to shoot a Barrett or Lynx, like a semi-automatic that you can't get here. But bolt action, like the round itself, isn't that big for me. But I mean, it's big, but like it's not like I haven't done before. But yeah, it would be fucking sick though
Yeah.
to just shoot something fully auto. Never done that.
That's super.
Right, even like when we got with the Air Force cadets and we got to shoot the Minimi and the Oz Steyr, we weren't allowed to use it in auto. We weren't allowed to. We had to use it in semi-auto.
Like
And the Oz Steyr, it was easy. You just pull the trigger once because it was the Oz Steyr is an AUG, so it has a progressive trigger. So when you pull it once, it will fire one round, but when you hold it down, it will burst fire. Go automatic, basically.
Oh, I see.
And the Minimi is a fully automatic machine gun, but they said that we can only because if you just pull the trigger once quickly, it will only single shot. But they said you're only allowed to single shot it. I'm like, fuck's sake. It's unfair. But yeah. Yeah, there's so many cool things you have access to.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should probably call that quits, I reckon.
Yeah, we'll be back next. No, we won't be back next week because I won't be. I'll be in a different location.
So we won't have a podcast for
2 or 3 weeks now.
I reckon 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
3 or 4 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The reason why is next weekend. Spliffy is obviously traveling to where I live, which is a long way away. Because I live in the middle of fucking nowhere. I live in a desert, pretty much. Next to an ocean. and then there's my wedding, and then the honeymoon, and then by the time we get back, then I think there's something else going on. I can't remember, but anyway. So it'll be quite some time. Yeah, mid-July will be the next time we'll be come back.
Yeah.
So we've been sort of busy lately, which is why we haven't been streaming as much as we normally do. But hey, when we get back, there's gonna be a lot to talk about. Shit's gonna happen. So
fuck yeah.
Hopefully I can share some really cool photos of sharks and shit that I've swum with. So that'll be cool.
I'll be definitely bringing some cameras and audio equipment.
Yeah,
I have to figure out what I'll have to figure out what I'm packing and how I'm packing it.
Just don't forget your suit.
No, I'm gonna get to like fucking South Australia and we're like, oh fuck.
Yeah. I had a nightmare last night that both you and my brother forgot their suits, and I'm just like, no.
Yeah, imagine if you had one of those nights. I can't wait for you to have that nightmare. It's like 2 days before the wedding, and then you're having a nightmare. You've got your vows going. You're speaking your vows. You look down and you're completely starkers.
Oh, by the way, I was gonna ask you, Spliffy, are you scared of snakes?
Well, depends.
Because I was thinking, you
want me to hold Nagini?
Yeah, I wanted to introduce you to Nagini.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that video. Saber have sent it to Hunter.
I'll check it out. So afterwards.
I will. Fucking hell. Okay.
People do get really emotional in funerals. Everyone does their thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Turn a bad day to a good day. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, continue.
Okay, so I was just going to say, I don't know. It's been years since I last held a snake.
Well, you don't necessarily have to hold her because it really depends on how she feels. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed her tonight. So then that way, by the time the day comes around, she will be fed and fat. But you don't need to touch her.
Yeah, okay.
Because I was thinking of getting some photos with all of us and her around. Because it's something different. But I don't know. We'll see how we go. See how she
Yeah.
goes. She'd be in the middle of a fucking shed, and then I'm definitely not getting her out.
Oh.
No, you don't want to. You don't want to handle a snake when they're in the middle of a shed because they get quite cranky because they can't see.
Oh.
So you're more likely going to stress them out and get bitten. And she's too big now to risk being bitten. She will not be fun.
Oh.
Oh yeah, she'll make me bleed. And I don't want to bleed on my fucking suit. So no bitey. That's what I'm gonna avoid. No bitey. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool. But you won't see any wild snakes when you're here anyway, which kind of sucks. But anyway,
Well, for you. I don't know if I think I think it was a very long. I was a literal kid last time I had I was some sort of run in with a wild snake. I'd be stoic. I'd be very stoic. I'd be like, you listen here, wild snake. I'm not afraid of you.
You do know you do know they have no ears. They can't hear you.
I'll speak to them in Morse code. I'll stop my feet in Morse code. It was a 2-foot bull snake.
Bull snakes
Can
are
you
cool.
stop naming things with other things? I don't need to know that there is a thing called a fucking bull snake.
What bull snakes are cool though. They got like a sort of stubby head, short snout. They're cool.
It's just, why can't you just call it something creative, not bull snake? It's like, what's this? Well, it's clearly shaped like a bull, but it's a snake.
Yeah, why
we'll call it a bull snake. That doesn't make any sense.
Why is it called a bull snake? Because it looks nothing.
Why is it
like
called a bull snake?
Yeah, I don't know that. At least our snakes are completely original. Red belly black snake. Why is it called red belly black snake? It has a red belly and it's got black. It's black and it's got a red belly. Okay, brown snake. Why you call that? It's brown. King brown snake. Why you call that? It's bigger than the brown snake. Taipan. What do you call that? I don't know.
It charges like a bull.
Okay.
It's a bullshit snake.
Yeah, I've seen videos of like people picking up like 8 of them, just holding around.
8?
Yeah, well, they're not venomous.
No, I mean like no.
They are
How do you
venomous,
pick
but
up
it's
8?
mild, isn't it?
Like at the same time?
They're not very big. They're not very big. I think. Yeah, they're not very big at all.
Well, it's not about the size. Like how big? What's the diameter of a bull snake? Which is obviously not something you would thinking about saying.
8 feet 4 inches. Oh,
8 feet. That's not a diameter. There's no way the diameter is 8 feet.
It'd be the 4 inches, I reckon, maybe, or maybe it's just 8 foot long. But that's a big snake. That's bigger than a python. Well, that's bigger than a carpet python, which gets to about 7 foot something. So that's pretty big. That's a big snake.
Yeah.
But
moo cow snake. I'm just gonna be thinking about calling snakes various things now.
Yeah, moo cow. But anyway,
that's a worn out tire snake.
We got to try and find.
We must find. We must locate.
Find someone to raid into. Who the fuck are we gonna raid into?
Who are we gonna raid into?
I don't know, man. Lately, we've raided into people and it's been incredibly boring.
Let's raid into someone fun. 6-foot rattlesnake near my work. You got a 6 foot. Do you mean as in you spotted one or you took one home? The government doesn't want you to know this, but the snakes in the park, they're totally illegal for you to just take home. I've got 6 of them.
Rattlesnakes get massive. Like diamond, like I've seen there's a where the state I live. So fun fact, I keep saying I'm gonna end them, we just keep going. It's funny.
Yeah, as we keep going.
Procrastinating as we go. So the fun fact that in South Australia there's a company called Venom Suppliers, and believe it or not, Saber, a lot of your anti-venom for America comes from them in Australia because they have the largest collection of worldwide venomous species. Rattlesnakes, diamondbacks, you name it, they've got it. Even crates and stuff like that. Anyway, they have in their main foyer. I've never been there because I got a mate who works there, and he was in the main foyer. There's this giant container, and they've got a really old diamondback in there, like diamondback rattlesnake. And it's huge. It's as big as they can get, like, but bigger, and this big fatty boy, like his body's like that fat. It's huge. And apparently, when you walk in there, and if he doesn't like you, he just fucking rattles that thing going, and it's so loud you can't have a conversation with it. So you have to actually, like, you have to go in the back room and stuff like that because it's so loud because he's just so fucking big. But yeah, his powder's pretty cool. I've seen photos of him. He's a huge boy. He's a massive snake. That's kind of scary.
Make them.
Though I don't think it would work though, because I reckon the heat would deteriorate the venom. I don't reckon it would work that well. Probably cause an infection though. Anyway, so we're going to raid into someone called Paige the Witch. I have no idea who the fuck they are.
Paige the Witch.
Yeah, and they're playing Dune. So
Dune.
yeah, why not?
Yeah, I tried reading Dune. I just could not get into it.
What the fuck's going on here?
No, what is going on?
I don't know. It for some reason.
Why is there no Dune? Why is there no Dune gameplay?
Gave me a link. I don't know why it gave me a link.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and others. I hope you have a good day and night, depending around the world. And we'll catch you next time. Like I said, it'll probably be 3 to 4 weeks away. I apologize for that, but thank you very much, everybody, for coming and chilling. And thank you so much, Saber, for entertaining us with your chats, because we do appreciate that. We do appreciate people coming in and giving us information and giving a little bit of a back and forth. It's quite nice. So, yeah, we'll catch you next time, and we're going to raid into this random that I have no idea who the fuck they are, but let's have fun. All right, see ya.